Hi and welcome to another episode of Baranov TV, designed to demystify the world of accounts and tax and to help your business grow. Now, we set up in business for lots of different reasons, and we set up in business with lots of different people. You could be a married couple, you could be cousins, you could be brothers-in-law, you may be really close friends, you might just be acquaintances, or you might actually be former colleagues. Regardless of what that relationship is, you need to make sure that you protect it. The last thing you want is to go into business together and end up falling out because of a disagreement over the running of that business. Now, the important thing to do here is make sure that you have a shareholders agreement. That can cover off lots of different situations and provide some guidance of what happens in those situations. So, for example, if you have a falling out, it could be that one shareholder wants to go one direction with a business and the other wants to go the polar opposite direction. You need to have in a shareholders agreement a methodology of breaking that deadlock. Second potential problem is protracted illness. It's a very sad statistic that 1 in 3 people will suffer from some kind of cancer during their lives. Obviously, priorities massively shift at that point, and the person who's unwell needs to take the time and go off and get better with whatever treatment's involved. Now, that is a potential point of conflict because you've got one person or maybe more left in the business running the day-to-day and still supporting the person who's off getting well. There is obviously an area of conflict there. The third option, another cheery one for you, is death. If one of the shareholders dies and there is nothing in a shareholders agreement or in a will, then their shares will pass in accordance with inheritance tax laws. Inheritance laws. So as the remaining shareholder or the remaining shareholders, you may find that you're suddenly working, rather than with your colleague that knows where the business is trying to go, you could be left all of a sudden dealing with inexperienced and grieving relatives. Now, they will potentially know absolutely nothing about your business. So not only have you lost a shareholder and potentially a very active shareholder in the business, you're suddenly dealing with an incoming person that will find that very difficult. So a shareholders agreement is essentially a listing and a legally binding agreement that deals with all of these situations, plus a lot more. So you can get one of these drawn up by a solicitor, and you should be speaking to a solicitor to get your terms and conditions in place as well. So those two things come hand in hand. If you're unsure about any of that, do please get in touch. The other time to think about it, obviously, is if you are looking for an investor into your business and you give them some equity. The shareholdings of the business change suddenly and you need to make sure that that's taken into account. The chances are they would want that anyway, and they would drive that because they want to protect their investment, but do make sure that you consider it at that point too. So any advice needed, then please get in touch. We are here to help, and we'd love to speak to you. In the meantime, please go off and have a look at your shareholder agreement if you have one. If you don't, please make sure that you investigate getting one set up. I'll leave you with that thought, and I'll see you very soon.